Hi everybody, welcome to your pre-departure presentation for Ecuador Amazon with Me2We Trips. In this presentation, we're going to talk about logistics, some cultural and itinerary pieces, as well as accommodations and what to look forward to on your trip. First, we'll chat a little bit about what makes Me2We Trips different. Yes, it is a volunteer trip, and yes, it is a cultural trip. But what we really pride ourselves here on at Me2We is that we absolutely do focus on not only connecting with community members, but building communities ourselves. In addition to that, it's really important that our participants feel a sense of leadership and growth during our trips. Having said that, there are some main components to our Me2We trips, some that I just mentioned, but really what we want to hone in on is the idea that our Me2We trips aren't just one experience. You're going to go and you're going to connect with community members, you're going to get your hands dirty and build and make a change. You're going to connect with your classmates and friends, as well as you're going to develop yourself as a leader and become really passionate about a cause. Maybe it's international or maybe it's at home. And we here at Me2We are here to support you the whole way through. A little information about the connection between Me2We Trips and Free the Children. Every year, Me2We donates half of our profits to Free the Children projects. So that includes the international projects that we have in various countries, as well as our camps in Arizona and Toronto. What's really interesting is that you will be on a Me2We trip, but you'll be working in Free the Children communities with our We Villages model. Here, you'll be able to see what our We Villages model looks like. This is a 5-pillar system that we really do rely on as sustainable development in all of the communities that we partner with. We realize that yes, in order to have education and have children leave poverty, they need to have an education, but there are so many other factors that play into this. Do they have access to clean water? Are they healthy? And in a lot of cultures, children do play a really integral role in the family in helping provide. So if a child is in school, is the family still able to provide for themselves? Here's where our 5-pillar model came into play. I'm going to show you a quick video that shows an example of the We Villages model in our international programming.
What if we could work together to break the cycle of poverty and create positive global change? Not through charity, but through partnership. Free the Children works in collaboration with communities around the world who seek support to make lasting change through something called Adopt a Village. Using this model, locals learn how to independently sustain their communities through 5 pillars that work together to break the cycle of poverty, ensuring they will never need charity again.
Ensuring they will never need charity again.
Through Adopt a Village, over 30,000 people have a better way of making income. More than 2 million people now have access to safe, clean drinking water. Tens of millions of dollars in medical supplies donated. More than 50,000 children are being educated every day. More than 650 schools and school rooms built. Free the Children works in 8 countries around the world.
Free the Children works in 8 countries around the world.
And when the communities are ready, the projects are fully handed back to them, allowing them to grow as independent, stable communities. It's not charity, it's sustainability.
I am empowered.
It's not charity, it's sustainability.
I am empowered.
That is one of my favorite videos because it shows the different ways the We Villages model can be implemented internationally in so many different communities. But now I'm going to chat a little bit with you about Craig Kielberger's life-changing experience when he traveled to South Asia when he was just 12 years old. He learned about child poverty and the child labor industry, and when he came home, he was truly passionate about having children have access to education internationally. We're still working on that goal, and it's one of the reasons why we have trips here at Me2We. We want to ensure that you also have the same experience and the same opportunity that Craig had to make a difference in a community and to work with community members. So now we're going to chat a little bit about the Amazon, some travel tips, and what you can expect along the way. We do suggest to all of our travelers to visit a travel doctor prior to going on a Me2We trip. You can connect with your coordinator to learn more about the region where you'll be staying and if there are any necessary vaccinations. If you are bringing prescription medication, we do ask that you carry it in your carry-on luggage with you. We don't want you separated from your medication at any point in time. While in Ecuador, you will be accompanied by Me2We facilitators throughout the duration of your experience. These are trained facilitators who are employed here by Me2We and Free the Children and who have really great experiences not only working with youth, but are really passionate about our programming and social justice issues. They'll be either meeting you at the airport or flying with you on your journey. Aside from your facilitators, you'll have an entire team in Ecuador who is here to support you during your time on your trip. That starts from the cooks and the chefs who will be preparing you delicious meals to keep you well nourished and healthy during your time away. Your community mobilizers who will be connecting you with the community members and sharing their stories, as well as your build site foreman who will be letting you know exactly what your project is and what your purpose is while you're on the build site. And of course, we can't forget our drivers who will play the awesome music during your journeys to and from your cultural activities and the build site and community. Here you see a typical shot of what an accommodation in Quito looks like. As you can see, it's really beautiful and floral, and a lot of the times the lobby space is actually open to the sky. This is what typical rooming looks like in Quito. They are hotel style. The rooms typically have between 2 to 4 participants that are split by gender in the rooms. In addition, all of the bathrooms in the hotel rooms are Western standard style. The Mingo Lodge is owned and operated by Me2We and where you'll be spending your time in the Amazon. It's located right on the edge of the Napo River and has beautiful scenery surrounding it. Here are some examples of what the Mingo Lodge looks like. As you can see, hammocks where you can relax during your break time. All of the rooms, again, are Western standard style and hold between 4 to 6 people per room. And there is a general dining space where you'll be able to enjoy the delicious food that our chefs prepare. Now we're going to chat a little bit about being part of sustainable change in the Amazon and the type of work that you'll do in the communities while you are there. Here you'll see an example of a schoolroom that was built in partnership with Me to We in our community. I really want to stress that this idea here, it looks really pretty and it's a really amazing structure, but this wasn't Me to We's idea. The idea to have roofs that block out the sound of rain, or windows that block out the wind and allow students to hear what the teacher is saying, this came from the community and community members. They are the experts here and they are the ones leading the project. We are there simply to support them in achieving it. As I said before, your hands are definitely going to get dirty on this trip. You'll have the opportunity to work on a different stage of a project depending on where it is when you are traveling. That might mean you're digging out the trenches for a water project or laying the foundation for a school, all dependent on where the project is and what the demand of the community is at that point in time. Being safe on the build site also means that you're dressed appropriately for the job. So I'm going to start off with volunteer clothing. Long pants are required on the build site, and this is for safety reasons. T-shirts that cover your midriff as well as your shoulders, and if you have a hiking boot or sturdy running shoes, those are definitely acceptable on the trip. As you can imagine, the Amazon is hot, so light layers are definitely the way to go. Even quick dry was something that I used when I was there. We want to ensure that we are remaining respectful to all of our community members, so if you are wearing shorts, we ask that they do come to your knees, as well as I mentioned before, midriffs are covered. For packing, we do ask that you do bring a hiking backpack, as you will be carrying your bag into the accommodations, and it makes it much easier for transit. If you don't have a hiking backpack, a duffel bag will also be really great. Of course, you can pack your iPods and things like that and your camera for your travels, but we do ask that during programming that things like your iPods and phones go away. Packing don'ts. This one can be a little difficult sometimes because we were so used to wearing certain things, but we want to ensure that we're mirroring the communities that we're working with by being as respectful as possible. So we do ask that leggings, yoga pants, and skinny jeans are items that you do keep at home and that you're not bringing on this trip. Typically, a lot of our participants wear track pants or cargo pants while they're on these trips. No clothing with offensive logos or shirts, again, or shorts that don't cover your knees or your midriff. If you have valuables such as iPads and laptops, truly it's not a really good idea to bring it to the Amazon. It's really hot and you're probably not going to be using it all that much. Now we're going to chat a little bit about some of the really cool activities that you'll do while you're in the Amazon. One of them including a really cool forest hike like the one you see here, where you can see gigantic trees and really, really cool insects that we don't have here in North America. You also have the opportunity to visit a cacao farm and learn how chocolate is made. You get to see the fruit from when it's first picked from a tree and what the process looks like, and maybe even try it out yourself. Local cooking lessons are a really wonderful part of our programming because you're able to see the different ways that food is prepared in the Amazon and in the communities that you'll be working with. This again will be led by your jungle guide, and you'll actually be able to taste some of the food that you'll be making. It's really important to us here at Me2We that all of our participants feel included and safe on their journey. Having said that, these three main points here, which will be included in your waiver form prior to traveling, are really important to follow during your time in Ecuador. So that regardless of their age, trip participants may not smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, use illegal drugs, or purchase any related paraphernalia. Participants may not engage in romantic or sexual activity with anyone for the duration of the trip, and respectful attitudes and behaviors are expected at all times. I really want to focus in on that last one. Not only respectful behaviors and attitudes towards your peers, your facilitators, and the community members that you're partnering with, but also to yourself, ensuring that you're drinking enough water, that you're keeping open communication with facilitators so that you remain as happy and healthy as possible during your time in Ecuador. Here at Me2We, safety is our #1 priority, and we do take it very seriously when it comes to all of our trips here. I'm going to chat a little bit about what safety looks like before, during, and after your experience in the Amazon. During your time in the Amazon, we ensure that the phone communication is available at all hours with our country teams. In addition, in the event that a medical clinic needs to be used, they are up to Western standards and very, very close to the Mingo Lodge. It's actually in the neighboring community. And of course, after your trip. Sometimes we don't think about safety after a trip. Maybe you have a medical update for your coordinator. Maybe you want to learn more about a certain pillar or cause in the Amazon. Whatever it might be, you are officially part of the Me2We and Free the Children family, and we are here to support you the whole way through. So if you need to contact your facilitator or your coordinator, you can definitely feel free to do so. Lastly, I'm going to show a video that shares some of the really cool experiences that you'll have in the Amazon and that you'll experience during your time with Me2E trips.
They say that life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. My Me2E trip to Ecuador proved that to be true.
Oh, this is hard work. They say that life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. My Me2E trip to Ecuador proved that to be true.
What do you expect me to do with that?
You have to eat it.
Eat it! I saw and experienced things that I would have never found at home, and therefore learned life lessons that I'll keep with me forever.
Eat it! I saw and experienced things that I would have never found at home.
We always
and
think that we
therefore
have
learn
time,
life
but
lessons
the
that I'll
time
keep
for
with me
adventure,
forever.
the time for change, and the time to live your life is
Yeah,
now.
once again. We always think that we have time, but the time for adventure, the time for change, and the time to live your life is now.
I want to say thank you so much for joining me during this webinar, and I hope you learned a lot about your upcoming trip with Me2E to the Amazon. If you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website or to call us at 416-964-8942. Thank you and take care.